Hey there, this is Michael Kennedy, the writer of Freaky and It's a Wonderful Knife, and you're listening to the Don't Go Out There podcast.
In a world where zombies, ghosts, serial killers, and vampires all exist, it's Nico, Brian, Mike, and Dustin, and they are all that stand between you and the films that could end the world. Welcome to the Don't Go Out There Horror Movie Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Don't Go Out There Horror Movie Podcast. Just want to thank all of our fans and listeners. Really appreciate the support. You guys are awesome. Before we get into tonight's film review, just want to give a quick shout out to our website, don'tgoouthere.com. Everything about our podcast is on the website. All of our episodes and interviews, if you want to check those out. We've done some incredible interviews in the past. Go check them out there in a specific tab by themselves so you don't have to scroll through hundreds of episodes on Apple or Spotify, etc. We also have our store if you want to grab a shirt, a mouse pad, a hat, all that good stuff. We'd love to see your pictures, rep your favorite podcast. And Shan's Etsy page is also attached if you want to grab a tumbler. All of our social media links are on there as well. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Like us, subscribe us, follow us, all that good stuff. And the last thing I want to shout out on our website is our Patreon. We call it Blood Donors. We have the traditional monthly reoccurring kind. If you want to support us, help us pay the bills, as we say. Or if there's a movie you want us to review, that option is available as well. Just check out our website, don'tgoouthere.com. Also, if you haven't noticed, we've recently joined the Believe Network. So there's some ads on our program now. But if you want ad-free content, go check us out on Blood Donors. The ad-free episodes will be available there. We appreciate your support. We hope you enjoy the episode. Merry Christmas, Don't Go Out There fans. We appreciate y'all listening. We're going to be taking on a Christmas-themed movie this week. We actually got the early screener last year for this movie. Got to interview the director and the writer. Michael Kennedy did an intro for us as well. Appreciate that. We're going to be doing 2023's It's a Wonderful Knife. I'll go first, just my general thoughts. I think the movie is just okay. Like, I might watch it during Christmas. I don't know. It's not like a must-see for me during Christmas time. But to be honest with you, I don't think there's really any must-see Christmas horror movies. Like, I think Silent Night, Deadly Night is fun, but, I don't feel the need to pop it on at any point. I think this movie is just fine. Like, it's got a really good cast. Justin Long carries, in my opinion. I wish Joel McHale had more of a role, because I'm such a big fan of his from The Soup. Like, I really wish he had a bigger role, a different role, perhaps. But I think the movie is just fine, but it's nothing super special to me. Brian, what do you think?
I'm so old, it was called Talk Soup back in the day. I wrote in here that I didn't know if I was alone in this or not, so I'm glad that I'm not to find that out. But I actually don't mind this movie at all. Maybe because it feels like it should be on the Hallmark Channel, and my wife makes me watch all Christmas season. I don't know. Or because, like Nico mentioned, we had the pleasure of interviewing the writer and director, Michael Kennedy, Tyler McIntyre, back when this first came out for KWPR. Great interview. Check it out. Don'tgoouthere.com. But yeah, it's not perfect by any means, but it's a lot of fun. I mean, very freaky, very happy Death Day, which also we discussed that in the interview since Michael wrote on this and Freaky. But this is one that you could definitely watch during the holiday season rotation. So no, it's not scary. No, it's not anything groundbreaking. There's a bunch of stuff in the script that I would change. I realize nobody asked me, but I would do that. But kind of like I said during A Quiet Place, one instant reaction. Like I have a decent time with it, and it's an easy watch for me. And that's worth a lot in my eyes.
Yeah, I think the movie is fine, right? I mean, I think you're talking to maybe the biggest Christmas guy on the show. I know Dustin likes a lot of Christmas stuff too, but I would, I'm all in, and I could do it all year long if I really had to. So I'm a big Christmas guy. But horror movies themed around the holiday never have ever really done anything for me. And I've seen all the Black Christmases, Silent Night, Deadly Nights, Santa's Sleigh with Goldberg, which is just a pile of dog shit.
Gremlins.
Yeah. Still, it's just not something from a theme standpoint that I enjoy. But that being said, this movie's fine. It is a fun twist on A Christmas Carol, A Wonderful Life, obviously, given the name of the movie. And so it's a fun horror twist on that story. And I think it's fine. It's fun. Like Brian mentioned, it's an easy watch. You can sit through it, have a good time with it. It's a popcorn horror movie. You know, I have some problems with it. Like there's some dialogue and some writing direction that I'm just not a big fan of. But again, all in all, not a bad film. And I probably did myself a disservice by watching this. Spoiler, if you're listening to this show 6 years from now, I watched this movie right after I watched Godzilla -1. So, did not do myself any favors there.
Yeah, saw this one, like you said, when we were graciously given the screener for it, and I enjoyed it. I don't like a lot of holiday-themed horror movies. You know, I get tired of them. I think they're silly most of the time. I do enjoy some Christmas movies, though, like Jingle All the Way, the best one ever made. I'll Be Home for Christmas with JTT. Good stuff. But as far as horror Christmas movies, I think this may be one of my favorites. Now, I don't love the movie. It's not going to get an astronomically high score, but I think it's fun. Justin Long and Joel McHale, they're very good comedic actors, and they do good in this movie as well. And this is a movie I'd have no problem throwing into the yearly December rotation. Like I said, it's not perfect, but it's fun enough.
Yeah, let's jump into the scene by scene. The film starts with a commercial from Henry Waters on Waters Cove in Angel Falls, the best shopping center. He's the best, so bleep the rest. Christmas vibes are immaculate as the town gathers at the tree. Henry addresses the crowd and lights a tree. Henry stops at Carruthers family as Henry's brother takes selfies. Jimmy asks Buck if he remembers him, but makes a TikTok asking his followers if they want to see his dick. I think that might get community guidelines, brother. Henry says he's more persuasive than his father and got the house. It's no longer a historic landmark. David leaves his family and goes with Henry. Henry and David are at Mr. Rogers' house trying to strong-arm him into signing over the house, but he wants to give it to his granddaughter. Roger pushes back on Henry, saying the people of this town are the future. Henry is upset with him bringing up his father and says his last chance to sign the papers. Kara comes downstairs checking on Grandpa, and he wishes her well going to the party. Henry says be safe with a creepy smile. Judy and Gail arrive with presents, and Winnie joins Kara in the car to head to the party. Kara vents she needs to get drunk after Henry's bullshit at Grandpa's house. Grandpa is watching a fire until a knock at the door. He assumes it's Henry, but it's just a snowman until a masked angel figure pops out and slices his throat. We're at the Christmas party now, and Winnie takes pictures of Kara and Darla and is caught by Bernie, who she stares at in the camera. Some jocks come over, and Kara leaves to go hang with Eddie. Two dudes are making out until they hear a sketchy twig snap in the woods, and we're with Kara and Eddie, who kiss. Suddenly, Eddie has a giant candy cane shoved through the back of his head, and Kara is attacked. She runs away, and the partygoers see her being killed outside the windows. Winnie finds her, but is grabbed by the angel killer. Winnie hits him with her camera and runs off, hiding behind a tree. The killer finds her, but is tackled by Jimmy, saving her. The two run off, and the attacker is pressing a knife to Jimmy's face. However, Winnie attaches jumper cables to his neck from a battery, killing him. The killer is revealed to be Henry Waters. All right, Brian, that's the opening set of scenes. What'd you think?
Okay. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Much to the chagrin of my co-hosts, I don't care for Justin Long, really. I know. And I can't tell you why, because I don't know why. I think some people just have those actors they're like that with. I mean, I think Dustin's like that with Nick Cage. Justin Long is just that dude for me. And maybe that's a testament to him being a good actor. I don't know. But I roll my eyes when I find out that a movie has Justin Long in it. Again, I'm sorry. But it's way worse than this movie because I used to have a boss that was exactly like Henry Waters minus the murder. But man, fuck that guy. So this character has me reliving that PTSD, and woof, it's bad. One thing we talk about on the show a lot is atmosphere. Some movies have it, some don't. I think that's something that Tyler captured absolutely perfectly here, and that's the Christmas atmosphere. It feels cold. It feels like Christmas. And that may sound like a little thing, but it's not to me. When you hear me all the time talk about atmosphere just not being what it seemed like it should be, but this one did not miss on that, in my opinion. Also, Catherine Isabel. I know she's been on our show for Freddy vs. Jason episode. She was awesome enough to do an intro for us for a movie we haven't even covered yet in Ginger Snaps. But hey, kind of weird with her not playing a teenager anymore to me. I don't know. I'm getting older. Pretty freaking cool tidbit, too, that I'm not sure if we covered in the interview or not, but her name in here, Gail Prescott. Obviously, a combo of Sydney's and Gail's names from Scream. Love that little Easter egg there, too. Speaking of that, the Carruthers' last name as well, an homage to Halloween 4, Rachel Carruthers. By the way, we interviewed her, don'tgooutthere.com. And the last thing, I like this killer's costume. Fun fact, it's actually an homage to the original costume that was meant to be worn by Ghostface. And I think we touched on this when we did our re-review on Scream. But yeah, that was intended to be white when the movie's first script was written. Obviously, that was changed to black. But I'm a fan of this, and that little backstory is very cool. Nice little introduction of scenes here. Some pretty damn cool kills right off the rip, especially that candy cane kill. I thought that was awesome. And, kind of flipping the story on its head some, like, so many questions off the rip, though. Is the killer dead? Is this a time travel movie? What's going on? Very gripping, cold open to me.
Yeah, this cast is great. Like, I honestly think it's one of the strongest parts of the film. You get Justin Long and Joel McHale, along with many others. Great comedic timing throughout the whole film. Even when Joel plays a little bit more of a serious character, which I'll touch on later. Just me personally, and Brian kind of already said it, this movie feels Christmassy as fuck. He said it felt like one of those Hallmark movies, which those movies feel Christmassy as fuck. So that really does work. As we've seen, Justin Long plays a really good asshole, man, which is just not what I would have expected coming from his early roles. I mean, he just plays a really good dickhead. Do you think he purposely looked like Joel Osteen, or was that an accident? Like, I mean, he really, like, right down to the facial expressions, the hair, everything.
Yes. He told him that was Joel Osteen was a direct inspiration, and he bought the teeth and everything for it.
Yeah, that's what I thought, baby. That's why you guys are better than me doing the research that it takes to make this show work. I appreciate it. We have a little bit of a handshake situation here in the car. Are they a couple? Are they friends? Either way, I have a question, guys. How come we don't do our handshakes like this with a kiss at the end? Anyway, holy shit, what a kill to open the movie as far as the opening kill. I really like this, like, snowman stand-in and then throat slit. Like, Jesus, that's one way to kind of break in. And, then we get to this party here. Is this how Gen Z high schoolers talk to each other? No fucking way, right? I do feel like some of the dialogue feels like an older person writing younger people. So, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. And it's, hey, I'm not knocking all the writing, just in this scene. I got to admit, I was not expecting the gay jock. That was something. And holy shit, a candy cane kill through the back of the throat. I fucking love that kill. That, spoiler on what, may be coming at the end there. I also, Brian, like the look of this killer. I think the all white is super creepy given the holiday. And then it's a very intense scene to take us into the title card with the killer getting killed early on. So we thought, anyway, kind of, sort of, because obviously It's a Wonderful Knife. It's a play on It's a Wonderful Life. And I have a feeling not all is as it seems. Go ahead, Dustin.
Yeah, I like throwing us into an infomercial for the town. It's a good way to show us the dynamic for the town and set the tone because it's cheesy and funny, kind of how the whole movie is. Henry having to start the applause after he made a remark at the tree lighting, that was funny to me. It reminded me a lot of Jeb Bush when he's like, please clap. Like, that was funny. Henry's brother, man, such a douche canoe. So annoying. The writing and acting in this movie isn't the strongest across the board, but it's forgivable because it's not supposed to be. This movie doesn't take itself too seriously, so I enjoy it. Roger saying David was more of a son to Henry's dad than Henry ever was is a good way to plant a motive there. Henry's not beloved in this town, even by his own family. Justin Long's teeth in this movie are hilarious. It's like when you see people online who went to the Facebook dentist for veneers. They're comically large, and I like the story we got on the interview there. Our first kill is a gnarly-looking throat slash, and it's easy to think, oh, it's definitely Henry Waters, which means it's definitely not, right? Second kill is pretty badass, too. Candy cane through the back of the dome. Great pacing and great action in this one so far. But then after, Winnie gets away there, or after the girl, what's her name, Kara, after she gets away there, how sharp is that blade? You know how hard it would be to stab through wooden planks on that walkway there? Come on. Great tension as Winnie and Jimmy are trying to escape, and she eventually lights his ass up like a Christmas tree thanks to that handy-dandy car battery that just happened to be laying around. Hell yeah. And it's Henry Waters. What? Talk about a curveball. But that makes the next killer kind of obvious because we couldn't have the main killer die this soon. Like, we can't spoil the whole movie, right? So I don't know. I'm invested so far. I like where we're going.
Title card and new commercial now with the Carruthers family and their realty service. 1 year later, and Winnie is denied acceptance into NYU. She's very disappointed and dreads it's Christmas again. She lies to her mom about hearing from NYU, and the family leaves the house. Winnie is confronted by Buck, and he hates her and her family's success, and he storms off. The family is opening presents at Gail and Judy's, and Dad is called out for giving pink workout clothes. She's forced to try it on. Shout out to A Christmas Story. I wrote it's the best Christmas movie of all time, but that's just my opinion. Y'all might think differently. But then I remember Friday After Next is a Christmas movie, so that might be the best. I don't know.
Yeah.
Winnie hears a horn honk, and she sees Jimmy has been gifted a truck. She's fuming in disbelief how they act like nothing happened a year ago. David says it's time to let it go, and Winnie storms away, and when she's asked why she'd want to relive that. Dad goes back to describing the truck as Gail and Judy give her a drink she doesn't like. Winnie gets a chain of texts from Robbie asking where she's at. She makes it to the party calling for Robbie. Vicky and some guy are eating enough weed gummies to send them to outer space when she's told to go to the basement to find Robbie. Bernie pops up and they chat briefly. She lies where Robbie is, and Winnie finds him in the laundry room making out with Darla. Darla is relieved they're caught, and Robbie admits they've been doing it for a year. Bernie says she was trying to protect her, and Winnie storms off. She fake hangs herself in the mirror and stops at a dock on the walk home. She wishes she had never been born, reflecting on all the bad events she's gone through, and the aurora appears in the sky and everyone disappears from the boardwalk. All right, Bryson, next set of scenes, what do you think?
First of all, could we have some more closed out of business signs on that funeral home in the set of scenes? I don't think people got the point. We need at least 6 to 7 more. And you killed my brother. I said, insert the Peter Griffin. Who the fuck starts a conversation like that? I just sat down meme here. The time jump, I will say, is a little bizarre. Like, it takes me some time to get my bearings back, honestly. The parents being so overly shitty, like giving a jumpsuit and then a truck. I don't know. It seemed almost too try hard. It felt like scary movie territory there, not a slasher like this, in my opinion. That part, in my opinion, should have been cut. But very interesting twist, though. And I like getting it early. Make a wish upon a star. If I was writing, though, I think that I would have made her go back a year ago and have her like maybe relive and try to stop the killer. But that's been done a million times. So this twist of just not existing, I like it. I'm interested.
Yeah, I mean, everything that happened here would certainly change how I felt about the holiday as well. Even someone that loves Christmassy as me, or loves Christmas as much as me. This, the way this kind of happens sets up a lot like the movie Thanksgiving, as far as like a big event happens, murders happen, there's a killer, and then it's a year later, and we got to kind of find out who the killer is and what's going on. I'm not gonna lie, they give her this pink tracksuit, and then that would have been a great gift in 2004. That looks like what everyone was wearing at the time. I mean, go back and watch Mean Girls. That's exactly what the cool mom is wearing. The son is definitely the fucking favorite here, though. You get a pink tracksuit and he gets a brand new GMC truck. That's fucking awesome. Shout out to sons everywhere, man. That's how you become the favorite right there, brother. I'm not going to lie. A Christmas Eve party every year would be a banger tradition. So that's a good way to kind of get a new one started. And, this is, man, finding out that someone's kind of cheating on you a lot of bit here is one way to get to your 13th reason. I will say, obviously, never, wishing she was never born in this way. There's the It's a Wonderful Life twist on the story that we're about to see. Great eye kill here. And by the way, I don't know if this trips anybody else up, but Aurora Borealis gets my ass every time. My stuttering ass can hardly say that shit. I got to sound it the fuck out when I say Aurora Borealis. So go ahead, Dustin.
No, it's impressive.
Yeah. Buck confronting and yelling at Winnie. That was wild. I mean, yeah, she killed your brother, but are you just going to ignore the fact that he was out there killing folks? That's okay. Okay. Where's your line, buddy? So Winnie, who, by the way, her hair clearly is a nod to Drew Barrymore's hair in Scream 1996. But she gets a velour tracksuit and Jimmy gets a new truck. favoritism much? Yeah, I definitely noticed that too. Awesome. That's parenting at its finest right there. All those texts going through to Winnie's phone, surefire way to make sure I don't read what you text. I dare you. Send 7 different messages bite to bite that could be condensed into one text. I'd have just sat my phone down and walked away. You have good aim after getting nailed in the head with a drink. That's funny. That's funny. I like Bernie's sense of humor there. Then Winnie takes a hit of acid and goes out to look at the sky. At least that's what it looked like happened. She walked out, looked up, and the stars start spinning. Wow, I'm invested. I'm liking
it. The killer appears after killing a man and chases after her. Winnie tells Buck the angel is trying to kill her. She asks when he became a cop, and he reveals he's a sheriff. She learns Sheriff Beatty was murdered a year ago. Buck says the angel strikes every couple of weeks, and she's baffled they don't know who it is. Henry Waters appears asking if she's okay. He hugs her and says she has the town's full support. He says he's the mayor and questions if she's visiting family. Buck tells him she knows who the killer is, but she denies it now. She says he's about the mayor's height, and he grows wary. She walks off, and Henry tells Buck to keep an eye on her. Winnie makes it home, and her mom doesn't recognize her. She thinks she's a DoorDasher, and Winnie yells for Jimmy. David is pissed, saying it's not funny. Winnie looks through the house for Jimmy, and she finds out he's dead from Gale. David snaps, saying she needs to leave, slamming the door in her face. Winnie sees how bad the town's gotten as she walks through the streets. She sees the angel as a tree topper and that Henry owns everything. Winnie is at the Christmas party asking if they've seen Robbie or Darla to no help. She runs into Bernie, who doesn't recognize her, and Winnie realizes no one knows or recognizes her. She says she's Winnie Carruthers, and Bernie cries, saying that's effed up. She chats with Robbie and Darla, and they go back to kissing each other. Winnie leaves and sees a shirtless dude getting kicked in the gonads. Vicky gets a text more murders have happened, and bro beside her doesn't care at all. It's not going to affect him living his life. Vicky goes inside saying she's drunk, and the angel chases after Pete. He's cornered and gets axed in the back. Strobe lights are about to give me a seizure, and others inside don't see what's happening. Pete is axed in the chest repeatedly. Winnie looks through a yearbook, realizing she's gone. Henry is on the news addressing the next angel murder as Weirdo Girl is bullied. Winnie can't believe they're having a party after a year of murders. Winnie leaves and Bernie to go with her. Winnie says we must stop the murders, and Bernie says to come with her. Vicky goes outside to smoke, and she finds Pete's head and screams. All right, Brian, it's the next set of scenes. What do you think?
Nico, did you say murder? But what a great shot to open this. What a great shot to open this by cinematographer Nicholas Paetnik. At the start of this set of scenes with the killer appearing in the doorway, and then we pan down to see Waters on the for sale sign. Very good looking shot. Nick really has only done music video stuff up to this point, besides a segment in the 99 VHS movie, which, man, I got to watch those. Nico, have you seen the VHS movies yet? Okay, he's shaking his head no. Good. I don't feel so bad yet. Okay, by the way.
You should. They're good. Some are good. Go ahead.
I know. I need to watch them. By the way, I'm the best. Fuck the rest. That's some kind of slogan, man. That's fucking great. Let me tell you. Also, probably the funniest line in the entire movie here. Let me see if I can do it justice. Hey, Chuck, can we get some more caution tape? Because I feel like we need to be a little bit more cautious. My God, that's fucking perfect writing. But hey, killer on the loose, and we just willy-nilly leave our front doors unlocked. That seems okay. A big qualm, though. Give us a twist here where Henry turns out to not be the killer in this timeline. Maybe too early for spoilers. I don't know, but it's just something like I wanted to say because we don't know for sure till the end, I guess. But big Back to the Future 2 vibes, like alternate 1985. Just wish we had Doc Brown around to explain it all to us instead of this inner monologue from Winnie, which is not even inner because she just talks to herself to get out the information to the audience, and that's a big pet peeve of mine in movies. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, again, I really want to like Winnie as a character. She is slightly annoying, and I know that's like a very broad statement to make. Maybe it's just the way it's portrayed. I'm not sure, but not my favorite main character, but she does get better as the movie goes along. She's kind of stopped by the police here, and there's no big shift as far as timeline goes. She wishes that she wasn't born, and then kind of the next thing we know, she's in another timeline. And in all these other movies, we get this big transition. whether it's The Ghost of Christmas Past or It's a Wonderful Life, there's like a big you wish you were dead, you wish you were gone. Here, let me show you. We don't really get that with this movie, and I kind of wish we did. Or like not. I don't need like a or like a Charles Dickens Ghost of Winnie's Past here or anything. Just some kind of transition to let us know, okay, we're in a different place. That's all.
And I agree with that, Mike. Mike, have you seen Back to the Future 2? Do you know what I'm talking about with Doc Brown? So, like, that's what you're talking about. You're talking about, like, I wish there was a character like Doc that was maybe immune to this whole thing and can explain to her what's going on, instead of she literally just walks around and says everything out loud that she's thinking to get that information across. And I'm not a fan of that. So I agree.
Yeah, I guess we're hitting on the exact same thing there for sure. I like that, we do start to have her actually smarten up as a character when she realizes something's fishy, talking to the police here. Most horror movies don't do that. That they kind of go crazy that they're in another alternate reality and they get taken to the station, and this did not go that way. So I did like that. And again, like I mentioned, we're getting a horror twist on It's a Wonderful Life or Christmas Carol. Some would say the Jim Carrey animated Christmas Carol is already horror, which is not incorrect. That's a scarily animated way to do that film. All right. Nitpick that has nothing to do with horror. Sorry for all you blue and I know it's because of his logo colors. Sorry for all you blue and white Christmas decor people out there, but it's not the right decor. And I'm willing to die on the hill and stand on the hill. Christmas is red and fucking green. Throw a little gold in there if you so wish. But blue and white. And that includes my own sister. My own flesh and blood does that shit. And damn it, red and green is Christmas. Blue and white. It's in January. Get the fuck out of my face. Anyway, we go to this party here and everybody's doing the marijuanas and worse. I'm not saying that anybody on this show would know a little bit about dabbling into the or worse. But this woman has a meth pipe. I mean, that's a crack pipe. What are we doing here? That is not what we do. That's some hard shit she's doing. So, anyway.
Not the pots.
Actually, I know that Brian thought the caution tape line was hilarious. But one of the funnier lines in the movie is actually when she's going around the room and says, "Do you know me? Do you know me?" The one guy's like, "I'd like to." That's what I'm fucking talking about. That's my guy. That's who I'm hanging out with. I did want to point out, and maybe it was on purpose, obviously, but how come everyone in this timeline cares about last year's murders and everyone in her original timeline doesn't give a fuck? What's out like it didn't happen? I thought that was interesting, obviously on purpose. The strobe light kill scene is wild. This is Seizure Town, USA with a one-way ticket. Jesus, man. It was rough. I do love the aftermath of it, though. I think the head being, the decapitated head looks really good. Pause. See, I said the head looks good in my notes, then pause, and I just went ahead and spitballed decapitated head. Should have just left out the pause. This head looks good. Pause. That's all I had.
Oh, okay.
That's a nice looking head. Anyway,
I don't even know what to cut there.
Well, not the head because it's already cut off.
That's right.
I don't have much on this set of scenes. I said last, she went outside and did some acid, but instead she's in an alternate timeline. Nice. This is a great play on It's a Wonderful Life. Like the title's more than just how can we make this, what's a clever horror themed title for a Christmas movie? No, it's actually a pun on that story. So I like that. I like seeing her put it all together, and it's cool seeing, everyone react with her as a stranger, and then she gets kicked out of her own house. I like that. But I do agree with what you guys said as well. Like if there was someone there who was in the know, maybe not a Ghost of Winnie Past, but someone who knew what was going on, probably would have helped a little. And, you can't have a scene like this without a hobo fire. Hell yeah. Love it. Love hobo fires. I did get a good laugh when Bernie's like, invisible a minute ago, and now she knows whose house this is. Make up your mind. That was hilarious. This movie does have pretty good comedy. And then lastly, we get a nice decapitated head trying to wrap up this set of scenes. I instantly think of Michael Scott, his kappa was dictated. I'm having fun. I'm having fun with this movie.
All right, Brian, I just want to ask you a question. Whenever you do scene by scene, do you for some reason have one section that's way too fucking long and then the next two are like super short? Because this is what section 4 is for me. So y'all bear with me. And I'm going to learn going forward to shorten this shit up. All right, we're at Bernie's house and Winnie is impressed by her fashion designs. Winnie tells her NYU is her plan too, and Bernie hopes they end up there together. Bernie shows Winnie her findings and Winnie says it's Henry. She tells her about her wish under the aurora. She tells her about her version of the story, pre her not existing. Bernie realizes the murdered kids were from families that had businesses. Bernie says Henry is basically untouchable, and she grows wary of Winnie grabbing a knife. The angel bursts through the window and door, attacking as Bernie questions her. Winnie fights her off, and the two escape. They hear it's curfew time, and Bernie says the aurora shouldn't be here. She thinks it's quite the coincidence. The two go into the movie theater to watch A Christmas Carol. Bernie asks if being unborn hurt, and Winnie says she's tired. But Bernie has so many questions. Winnie says all the things she wishes for, tapping her toes, but nothing happens. Bernie says she has no doubt this town was better with her. They hold hands and she lies her head on Bernie's shoulder. Winnie wakes up in the most uncomfortable looking position ever and gets roasted for snoring too loud. Winnie learns the lights in folklore are the spirit of someone who dies violently. Bernie says the aurora is fading and if it goes away, she's stuck here. Bernie says to kill Henry again to reset everything. Winnie learns of a new Christmas event and knows one person who can help. She's back at David's and bangs on the door, and Gail answers this time. She asks how she knows Jimmy. Gail has her tell something she can't Google. She lets her inside, and Judy is looking rough, needing her Ambien. Winnie goes into David's room and asks about working for Mr. Waters on Christmas and asks if he's okay. David and Winnie talk about Jimmy now. David gets choked up reflecting, and Winnie does too, hearing David speak on having one life and how different things are when one person is gone. Winnie tells him she knows Henry killed him. David snaps at her and she calls him Dad. He tells her to get out the house now, snapping. Bernie hugs her as Winnie says this family in town died the night Henry killed Jimmy. Winnie finds out Mom is getting her shit split by several side pieces. Winnie walks back into the room and sees the angel has killed side piece and Mom. The three ladies run upstairs fighting the angel killer. The ladies go to step over the killer and Bernie realizes he's still alive and barely breathing. Winnie steps over last and grabs the dagger. She removes the mask, revealing it's David. She's in shock and calls him Dad again. The three ladies run away, and David slams the front door. All right, Brian's next set of scenes. What'd you think?
Damn, she got her shit split. Whoa! Mike, you brought it up. Shout out to Kyler T. Moore, the special effects coordinator, and the whole art department as well. Miles Engel. The practical effects look, I think, really good to me. I mean, you mentioned it, getting head in the dumpster, the last set of scenes. All of it, I mean, that's not CG, looks damn good. And, I mean, yeah, the CG's, I mean, maybe a touch wonky, but nothing that bothered me. Like the stabs in that first set of scenes and you know, we get later. But I just wanted to give them some credit as well. And we talked about it. We talked about needing that Doc Brown character. And again, I wish Weirdo had been the only one that was knowledgeable about the other timeline. Like, because I mean, nobody really knew she existed anyway. So let her be that person that was for some reason immune from the Aurora spell. Because Winnie trying to convince her and then her just believing it pretty damn quickly is a little clunky to me. And, you know, who am I? Fucking script doctor. I'm a fucking nobody. That's who. But that's how I would have written it. Like I said, like Black to the Future 2, where Doc is also aware of what's going on and they're able to talk about it with that knowledge instead of trying to convince someone, you know, of this whole crazy ass thing. I don't know. That's all. Now, I get the George Bailey and the Clarence and It's a Wonderful Life connection and all, but I think we could have strayed from that a little bit. That's all. And Winnie and Bernie's connection, this may be a hot take. I don't know, but I think it's a little too quick. I mean, they didn't know each other at all, even at all in the other timeline. And now after this, like just her telling her this wild story, they run, go to the movies, and she's calling her Win, throwing popcorn at each other and holding hands. And to me, it's too quick. You know, too forced, too quick. Just my opinion. Should have given them a day or two of bonding over some trauma. We see that all the time in movies where two people bond over trauma and, you know, it's quick, but this one was even quicker than that, in my opinion. Again, just my 2 cents. Last thing, I did like the red herring. I guess it's a red herring if you call it that, of Joel McHale being masked there. But again, another trope turned on its head. The whole stepping over the killer thing, I felt like, oh, okay, I know what's going to happen here. And it didn't. And I like that.
Yeah, I mean, at least in this set of scenes, they finally connect the dots, right? Like they kind of, Winnie and Bernie kind of finally start to figure out what needs to be done in this alternate reality. So at least we get that. It took a little long because we didn't have anybody there kind of holding our hand, that character that we've referenced. I'm not going to beat a dead horse, but I will say she timed up perfectly saving Bernie from the killer in the window. Like it was almost too quick. Like, get your ass over here. And then the window breaks. Like, oh man, that's crazy. Every time I see the Northern Lights in this movie, or the Aurora Borealis, no stutter, thank you. Every time I see them in this movie, I get frustrated because I went all the way to Alaska and we were supposed to see them and they never fucking showed up. I'm pissed. Anyway, I will say this scene in the movie theater lasts a little long for my liking. It's a touching moment between the two characters. I don't necessarily have a problem with how quick that they kind of take into each other because Winnie really did need somebody from the previous timeline to grab onto. And I think that it does show that like she should have been nice to Bernie, the weirdo, the whole time. And so I completely understand what you're saying, but they kind of like wandering around like, what do we do? Of course you have to kill him again. Like it's not that difficult of a thought process to me. It's like, all right, what's the big difference here? Oh yeah, the killer's still on the loose. Let me go kill him. All right. So it took me a second to realize, damn, the mom is fucking the drug dealer right here on the couch in front of Joel McHale. God damn. His character from Community would have never stood for that shit. Anyway, look, I love Joel McHale in this role because it's so different from the other stuff I've seen him play. It almost, the first time seeing this, what?
It's so different, but we all call him Joel McHale and don't even know what his character name is.
Well, he's still Joel McHale, right?
Yeah,
well, his character name is character name is David. Yeah, it's David.
I've been calling him Joel McHale too, so I think it's funny.
In fairness, Brian, I do that every fucking week. So I don't know what you're talking. If it's a famous actor, you can fucking forget it, pal. Buddy, if you're Denzel, you're Denzel. Okay? If you're Morgan Freeman, you're fucking Morgan Freeman. It doesn't mean I don't respect your character work. Joel here, David, actually really liking this role because it is different from other stuff I've seen him in. And this part of his character right here in this set of scenes is very serious. Loss of a child. I do feel like this movie did a good job with the death of their son. It took me a little bit here to just realize, again, like I mentioned, wife is fucking the drug dealer right here on the couch. Husband's in the house. What the fuck's going on? Man's getting cucked out in his own house. No wonder he ends up under that mask as the killer. I don't fucking blame him. Man had to snap. But,
Maggie Hart approved. I don't know.
Oh, dude. So, I wrote in my notes because, again, first time watch, everything's kind of happened. I'm like, oh, it makes me almost, in all cases, think it's going to be her dad in this universe. Then they get the red herring. It was like, I fucking knew it. But no, man, they took forever to stab this motherfucker, by the way. Pussies, man. Fuck. In the words of Steve Stifler's little brother in American Pie 2, fucking pussies, man. That's what they were. Kill this motherfucker. That's what you were there to do. Anyway, that's all I had. Thought it was a fun set of scenes, though.
Yeah, I think this is the most I've gotten. It's not a lot, but Bernie buys this story a little bit too easily for me early on here. Like, she's not really skeptical at first. She's like, oh, yeah, because you're not here now, so he lit. Like, I don't know. I mean, I complain when characters don't believe the protagonist in movies, but this is a little outlandish, though. Like, she isn't skeptical enough for me. And then she flips the switch, and she does get a little skeptical at the end, right before the killer bursts in the wall like the Kool-Aid Man. Bernie saying the theater is her happy place. That's relatable AF. Same girl. Same. I don't know how in the blue hell Winnie fell asleep in those theater chairs like that, though. No shot. No shot. That looks like the Regal seats that Nico complains about. And the girl is sprawled out across multiple rows. There's no, and especially knowing that, when Bernie says good morning. She slept like that all night. Not buying it. Most unbelievable thing in the whole movie. The Aguilera thong bit was hilarious. I laughed out loud when she said she always knew that it would bring people together. That was funny. That's good. Good tension as we get our next kill, and the ladies have to walk over his dead body. Oh, nothing could go wrong, right? But holy plot twist, it's her dad. It reminds me of the Neon movie Assassination Nation, where Joel McHale seems like your everyday member of the community. Like he's a nice guy, he's respectable, but actually he's a scumbag. Side note, that movie sucks. Assassination Nation is awful. But yeah, onward we go.
All right, the three ladies make it inside a building as Winnie realizes the Aurora is almost gone. Gail tells him Karen was killed earlier that summer and her print shop was taken over by Henry a week later. Bernie says we can change it. Kill the killer. The Aurora is gone tonight. You must kill your dad. False alarm with a booby trap in the theater on Robbie and Darla. Gail hobbles back in with a knife in her back. She screams, pointing into the lobby. The lights go out and everyone panics. Winnie uses her camera flash to light the place and we see the killer take Darla out. Bernie gets the lights back on, and Winnie stabs the killer in the chest with the broken wooden handle. She removes the mask and sees her father's face. Bernie comforts her, saying she did it. They're at the dock now, and Bernie asks if Winnie likes her. She tells her this Christmas was going to be my last, but you helped me realize her value. The two hug, and Bernie says she hates to see her go. Winnie tells the Aurora she wants her life back, but nothing happens. She begins screaming into the clouds and asks Bernie what she must do. They hear claps from Henry in the crowd. We need to kill Waters, Winnie says. And the next set of scenes is the ending. Why the fuck was 4 so long?
No, dude, I did the same thing with Godzilla. You didn't notice that? I saw you falling asleep during one of my scene by scene reads. I do like the lighting effects here with the flash going off in the theater and the set of scenes. But there was too much dialogue going on for it to even be a little bit creepy. And it was super anticlimactic with the way that Joel McHale died here. So I'm very glad that wasn't the end of the big finale, because they did a good job with their talk before the Aurora between Winnie and Bernie. But wow, we need to kill Waters. Seemed like a big leap there. I mean, let's assume that doesn't work. You've now committed murder. But man, it's an alternate reality movie, so it is what it is. I don't have much on the set of scenes, so go ahead.
Yeah, I don't have much on this set of scenes either. Honestly, the plot gets a little confusing-ish here. Like, I feel like too much stuff's happening at once in this theater. And then there's a lot of flashing lights. Again, one-way ticket to fucking siege reveal here. Jesus. It just felt a little unnecessary. And so did and honestly, so did the David twist, because we know that's not going to be the end of the film. But I do like the creepy version there of let's all go to the lobby. I like when a horror movie does that. I think it works really well the few times I've seen it. Yeah, man, I think it's fine. Not a whole lot happens here. You know, you mentioned a lot of dialogue, yeah, and it kind of gets these three women together and then one's killed right away. I don't know. I will say, take note. She should have seen A Christmas Carol. She should have seen all the Family Guy episodes, the kind of, you know, where death is there, right? She should have seen It's a Wonderful Life. You can't just scream that you want your life back. You'll know when you get your life back. The universe will tell you. You can't just scream into the Aurora Borealis that you want your life back and happen. That ain't the way it works. Okay? So tighten up, kill Joel Osteen Jr., and let's ride on. Come on.
Yeah, and I'm not sure that screaming prick to the sky is assuming you're talking to God. I don't think that's the way to go about business.
I know that's pretty fucked up.
It's not how business. It's not how business is done.
Motherfucker.
That's why he died in Planet of the Apes. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't have a much here or the last set of scenes, but I do like that we get to fake out with Robbie and Darla here at the theater, but then we get a real kill. It's a nice little swerve there. Just like that false sense of security, and then boom, someone is dead. Good action and tension at the movie theater here, and she got him, stabbed through the heart, and you're too late. You give love a bad name. And also I put, damn, he ain't going to be in Rush Hour 3. Bernie saying that she was going to end it until Winnie was nice to her. That was rough. That resonated with me. Be nice to people, folks. It goes a long way and it costs nothing. But yeah, that's all I had. I'm ready for the finish.
You knew when you wrote down that Bon Jovi line, it was a banger, didn't you?
Yeah, I heard as I typed it out, I heard Mike Breen in my head say "bang."
That's when you knew your team was fucked. All right, let's get to the ending. Henry speaks to the crowd and tells his brother Buck he's been naughty. He reveals Buck's wish to transfer. Henry tells Buck he forgives him and stabs him, saying he does this for them. His wife says only Henry can give you what you need. Henry hears Winnie from the crowd calling her an outsider and a pariah. Winnie and Bernie are taken on stage, and Henry continues on his power rant. Winnie tells Henry she killed David. Henry scoffs at Winnie, who says they don't need him, until Bernie socks him in the mouth. Both ladies start attacking him until he's knocked off the stage. He's back on stage saying they made the naughty list. Bernie stabs him in the chest, and the townfolk are free of his spell. The aurora shines bright, and Winnie and Bernie share some smooches. Winnie awakes in her old bedroom, celebrating being back to normal. She runs to hug her mom, and they give her a new camera. She runs and hugs her brother, Gail, and Karen, too. She tells Mom she didn't make it to NYU and says it's fine, she belongs here. Big family hug, and it's present opening time. Winnie leaves abruptly and wishes everyone Merry Christmas through town. She tells Robbie and Darla they fit together, and it's fine, they've been cheating the whole time. She's at Bernie's house, and she tells her she matters, and they laugh, remembering. So now she remembers, I guess. They go inside to get ready for a day of breakfast, movies, and hanging out, and that day sounds pretty damn fun. Brian, what'd you think?
Oh, sorry.
Wake up,
Yeah.
Grandpa.
That was fitting. That was kind of fitting too.
Hey, man. Hey, man. I know you're 68, but like, let's get it together here.
Fuck off. All right. Happy ending. Hey, don't you think it would have been a kind of crazy had Weirdo had Bernie been the killer? I think I would have liked that twist a little bit. I don't know. I wasn't the biggest fan though of the crowd and the trance thing. The guards running away. That whole scene was kind of a mess. But overall, quick watch, and despite the messy ending, I still like it.
Brian, that had to be a full circle moment for you. I don't know how old you were when It's a Wonderful Life came out, but to see the horror spinoff of it come back around and get to see it, that was probably pretty cool for you, buddy. You want to explain that to us?
Ageism.
I'm sorry, man.
Ageism on this fucking show.
That movie came out, what, 34?
I hate you.
Dude, I'm pretty sure that It's a Wonderful Life is like the same
46.
age as World War II.
46, yeah.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't too far off.
I
All
hate
right,
you,
I'm sorry,
brother.
Brian. I know you were 13. You probably weren't
You're
really
not
looking
sorry.
at that yet.
You're not sorry at all.
I'm sorry. Okay. My man Joel Osteen here, or Joel Long, as I'll call him. He kind of calls out this cop for wanting to transfer. I mean, look at the fucking position he's in. I'd want to transfer too. If I were a cop, I'm hitting the portal, brother. I'm out of here. Put me in a different town. I don't anybody that decorates their streets with blue and white Christmas. I want out of that town in the first place. So I would definitely be trying to be sheriff of another place. I do like that we kind of again the Joel Osteen thing's already been mentioned. This like cult leader in a way. Very interesting. Again, I think that Long plays a great asshole, and this is no different. And he's a freaking gangster, though. Like, he's killing people right in front of the town. I thought that was pretty substantial. Was not expecting it. And he has a couple of great lines here. Somebody shouts, "That was rough." And he says, or someone says, "I like it rough." He goes, "Yeah, I like your mom." Great line from Justin Long. He also calls them fucking bitches, which is great. He's just such a good scumbag. I am glad that we get a happy ending. I'm glad that Joel Long dies here and everything ends up good. And honestly, it really is touching the next morning. And they kind of make up for only getting her the tracksuit, the velour tracksuit, by getting her a brand new fucking camera. Those things are expensive as well. Maybe not as much as a truck, but pretty goddamn expensive. I thought that was a very thoughtful, touching gift for them to get her. And, then we get the happy ending with her and Bernie. And I thought that was really nice too. So all in all, good ending, fast watch, no big qualms about it. Just, a fun little twist on It's a Wonderful Life.
Another funny line he had was when, I think it's his security guards were trying to help him. He's like, "Get your hands off me. This is Kashmir." That was funny. But I'll keep mine short and sweet. I've only got 4 bullet points here. This man stabbed his own brother, the sheriff, mind you, in front of everyone. bold. That's the moves of a man who knows he can do what he wants. Bernie coming out of nowhere and nailing Waters, that was funny. And then they beat his ass. Hell yeah. The townsfolk's eyes being like that and them, being in a trance, that was a little unnecessary to me. It was like, this is kind of a hokey premise anyway, but that was a little bit too hokey for me. But we get the feel good ending with her going home and being more appreciative of everything she has. I like that. It's a good way to send us home. It is kind of weird that Bernie remembers what happened. Like, I don't know that I buy that, but I forgive it because I had fun with it.
All right, guys, let's jump into our social media comments and questions. I will go first with the Graham. We got 2 comments there. Friend of the show, it began with a screen book. Patrick commented, I enjoyed this. All right, I think it's fine. And Jake Goldstein commented, honestly, was a little better than I expected it to be with some pretty cool kills. I could agree with that. Brian, you got the old Book of Faces pulled up?
Yeah, Sean Irwin posted, I actually really enjoyed this one. I was pleasantly surprised by just how good it was, and then replied to himself and said, is Justin Long one of the top horror stars still?
I mean, I like him. I know you agree.
I love him.
I think so.
Whatever you think, Sean, I agree. I agree with. That's all we had.
That's as per usual. All right, nothing on the skies that are blue. So on X, the artist formerly known as Twitter, we got 1 comment from Randy Smith, Go Dogs. He said, Merry Christmas, boys. Fun movie. A dark twist on It's a Wonderful Life. Definitely got added to the Christmas horror movie rotation. I don't know if it's just me or did Justin Long's voice get annoying, but it kind of added to him being a POS character. And he put a GIF of a flaming gingerbread man says Merry Christmas. That may be from a movie. I'm just not sure which one.
He put a peanut butter jar of a what?
No, it's GIF. It's a stands for was it graphic?
What's it stand for?
Graphic.
No, it can't. It can't stand for that because he said
Peanut butter on his penis like Ray. Is that what you said?
No, it can stand for that if you just if you ask the guy who
Y'all got any
created
fun facts? Y'all got any fun facts?
It's like imagine
Hey,
telling
buddy, I have the budget and gross when you're ready.
imagine telling someone who invented something that's not what it's called. Anyway, yeah, we can move on.
He was wrong. Mike, you got the budget?
Okay. Actually, I wish I did, but I searched high and low and could not find an official budget. Just that it was a low budget movie is all. There's no IMDb for it. There even the numbers.com or the numbers.com did not have it, and then neither did ChatGPT or Google's AI. Nobody had it. So all I could find was that it was made for pennies on the dollar, basically. It's what everyone was saying. But I did find the gross an estimated worldwide of $825,000.
I think it went to Shudder pretty quick. So
Yeah,
it went to Shudder pretty fast.
yeah.
Yep.
And a lot of times on those streaming service,
It was a limited release, also, by the way.
yeah, on those streaming service exclusives, they don't really release the budget, so that's fine.
Right. I think that's what happened. Is streaming budget.
Dustin, Brian, you got any fun facts?
I don't.
I just got one little ditty here. Well, no ditty, but
Whoa. Start over.
I got one little tidbit here. Honestly,
There you go.
I couldn't remember if I had used Justin Long to connect to David Arquette before because we've seen him multiple times, and there's multiple connections there, but I don't know which one I've used. So I used Joel McHale. He was in that cannot be the name of that movie. Fucking hell. Hang on.
No question, though. Has Justin Long been on our show more than anybody that's not attached to a franchise?
Probably.
Ooh, that's good.
Makes sense.
That is the name of that movie. Okay. I thought I typoed, but okay. Joel McHale was in a movie called Happily with Bill Dauterive himself, Stephen Root, who was in Buffy the Vampire Slayer with David Arquette.
Nice.
Hell yeah, bro.
Nice.
All right, let's jump into our least favorite kill in the raid before Brian falls asleep. Brian, you want to go
You can
first?
dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. Let's go.
Yeah, my favorite kill was Candy Cane kill at the start. Loved it. My least favorite kill is Catherine Isabel. It was just off screen. Plus, I like Catherine Isabel. She deserved a better kill. Short and sweet. I had fun with it. A lot of problems, but like I said, an easy watch in my opinion. I gave it a 6.
Okay. I'll go ahead and go next real quick. Favorite kill for me was, they're all kind of decent, but I'll go with Candy Cane through the noggin. Least favorite kill was Pete, I guess, if we count that one, since it was in an alternate timeline and didn't really happen, I guess. But all we saw was the end product, his decapitated head. As far as the final thoughts on the rating, it's fun. It's funny. I like it. It's cheesy in the best kind of way. It should honestly be in the December rotation for everyone, I think. But it's far from perfect. So take all the praise I give with a grain of salt, because I gave it a 6.5.
All right, I'll go next. Favorite kill for me, I'm going to go with Mr. Rogers, the first kill, the throat slit. I thought it was a nice little jump scare. Thought the throat slit looked good as well. The candy cane kill was good too, though. Least favorite kill, Henry Waters. Like, that dude was an asshole. He only got stabbed in the chest once. Fuck that guy. Justin Long deserves to get his head ripped in half, head decapitated. Like, that's his MO, and we just give him one stab? Come on, guys. He spent $2,000 in the teeth, and you give him one stab in the chest? I think the movie is just a fine little December Christmas watch. I don't think it's anything special. It's honestly not a must watch for me, but if it is for you, that's fine. I don't know. It's just, if I want to watch like a time jump movie, I'll watch Happy Death Day or Groundhog Day, something like that. Those are just better to me and more fun. I give the movie a 5.25. I think IMDb is 5.2. I'm going to be right there with them.
It's better than all the Black Christmas movies.
Yes, it is. It is better than all the Black Christmas movies. I will agree there. Yeah. Anyway, yep. I think it's a fun watch. My favorite kill was actually a tie. The first throat slit there, and then the candy cane to the back of the head, I thought was a great fucking kill. So I think those are both on par with each other. Pretty much everything that everyone else has said. I think it's a fun watch. There's some story problems that I have. I think most of that, and then all the stuff me and Brian kind of nitpicked is probably more so budget and time. How much time they had in the runtime, along with the budget. Like, you can only pay so many people. You can only pay for so many things. And so I think that's mostly probably what it comes down to. One little twist on a classic Christmas story that we're all kind of, already familiar with. Like I said, Brian got to see It's a Wonderful Life in the theater, so this is probably pretty cool for him. All that being said, fun watch. Again, I'm just not a big fan of Christmas horror, but this one's kind of fun and a little bit different. It's fine. I give it a 6.5.
All right.
Being bullied.
So that gives us a composite score of 6.0625. Nico said it. IMDb, right on the money, 5.2. Pretty much all the scores are right in line with each other. Rotten Tomatoes, 55%. Letterboxd, 2.5. So, yeah, we're all pretty close to what they got.
All right, let's shout out our blood donors, and we'll get out of here. I think we're all about to fall asleep. Shout out legendary blood donor Dana Tucker. I don't even know how many times you donated at this point. We really appreciate it. You've helped us out a lot. Camper Lover, reoccurring Nina Horror Movie Crew podcast, Alex Seligson, Michelle Mirza, and Chris Manley. Camp Counselor, reoccurring Edwin Hernandez Gunn, Joe Swinford, Adrian Aiello, Brian Samick, Andrew Ferguson, Brooke Maley, Heather Superdoc, Jennifer Davison, the Too Close to Home Pod, Dana Tucker, Cole McAlexander, and Max K. We really appreciate y'all. We hope y'all have a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate. We appreciate y'all listening, and we're looking forward to 2025 and hope we have another great year. Y'all have a good one.
In the words of NSYNC, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Jason X.
Wow, that was out of nowhere.
Freddie
I
Ford.
feel like we need some more caution tape because we need to be a little bit more cautious.
Happy 78th birthday, Brian.
Just want to remind everybody,